What up, everybody? Welcome back to Across All Arenas. We're your hosts, Andre and Ryan. And what's up, man? How you been? You
Dude,
were,
I just got back from Florida, from
yeah.
Orlando. That's why I'm wearing this, nice little hockey jersey
That's actually kind of
from.
dope.
Dude, I'm
I,
saying,
I
like,
dig it.
this is not Fanatics branded because so Fanatics took over NHL like gear this like season or like the past like 2 years, and like all their stuff is like falling apart and ripping apart. Like the material isn't good. This is it's lighter. It's lighter than.
I was gonna say, is it light or because usually hockey jerseys are heavy, but it looks
Yeah, they're
pretty light.
No, it's a lot lighter than a regular jersey, but it's really the material is really nice, and it's like $85, which is still a lot of money, but
But for
it's
a
better.
hockey jersey, that's actually not that expensive.
Right, so I was about because like a normal hockey jersey is like
Like hundred,
$120.
yeah. But if you get it from China,
That
um, it's only $50, and
Yeah,
it's
hey,
still made the
listen, man.
same. Hey, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. I'm raising my hand for our listeners. I'm one of those people.
this
I
is
don't care. I don't care. Eh,
Caleb Williams jersey from
Dude,
from
I just
Shanghai.
I just got my best friend one for his birthday,
There
and
you go.
he's out in Chicago, and so he finally got it, and apparently right. I'm like, hey man, it arrived. It's in your mail. It says it's in your mailbox. And he's like, "Okay, yeah, perfect. I'll give me a." He texts me, "Give me a minute." Um, it's minus 7 degrees outside in Chicago. I was
No.
like, I've always kind of been, me and Angelina, we've been kind of playing around whether they want to move back to Chicago or whatnot. The kids that apparently they really want to see snow or whatever, but he texts me that minus 7 degrees, and I'm like, you're not doing justice for me to. You're not helping me move back, man, or Angelina in that matter because she doesn't want to live in the cold. But it was kind of
Right.
funny, and then he finally got it, and this was the kicker. He finally got it, and he was like, "Okay, I got it. Thank you." And then he's like, I'll put it on later. It's still thawing. And he said it was like it was a brick. He couldn't even put it on. And so like maybe like an hour later he texts me, he's like, "Hey, Fitz, thank you." After it thawed out. Oh like good lord. And
Oh,
it arrived that day too. So it wasn't like a whole day or anything like that or a few days. It was like a few hours, and the fact that he said
oh my
it was
god.
like frozen.
Dude, I would hate that. If I got a jersey and it's all frozen,
Yeah.
god, I don't have the patience for that. That's why I gotta just
Oh,
play, like, in the dryer or something, you know what I mean? Just
yeah. Yeah, he
oh.
that had me cracking up so much, so bad, but, anyways, yeah, man, so trip was good?
Yeah, no, trip is good. I try to take a trip every year now because, mental health is very important to me.
Of
So,
course.
I try to take a break from work, and especially through football season, like, it's a lot. So, I was out there for a few days, got to see some friends, and one of them gave me, their whatever comp tickets they had left from the winter season, and so I went to the parties by
Wait, so
myself
you
for.
you went to Disney World for free?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
I still got my connects, of
Hey,
course.
man, I need that hookup.
There
Disney World
I
is
got
not
it.
cheap, man.
Listen, no, it is not. It is not. It is very expensive. But yeah, no, I went to 3 of the 4 parks. I didn't go to Epcot because there's really nothing for me there to do other
Yeah.
than if I want to drink, $20 beers or whatever, But no, it was cool, man. I plan on going back in a couple months. Just because there's my brother is an assistant coach to UNLV's hip hop dance team,
Yeah.
and they just won nationals last month, like during this time last month. So they won, excuse me, they won nationals in 2 different divisions. They won in the hip hop category, they won in the game day category, so it's a big thing for their program. And then because they won in the hip hop division, Team USA or the Team USA cheer, organization, they selected UNLV to come back and compete for Team USA in like the hip hop division and like a world's competition. So like they're representing Team USA and they're going against like Japan and Korea and like the Netherlands, Denmark, like it's all these different countries and they're all going to Orlando and like it's like in coordinates with like the Olympics. So
Yeah.
it's also a cool thing. Like they get to like the last time they went to Worlds, they won gold, so they get, like, a gold medal, so it's, like,
Hmm.
really cool. They, like, stand, like, on, like, podiums and all that, and so it's like an actual legit, like, Olympic setting type thing, so I'll probably go back in April, sometime in April.
That's cool.
I gotta pay off this trip first because Lord knows how much money I spent.
Well, that's the thing when you go back to when you go on vacation, you like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm spending everything.
Right, exactly. I'm just like, "Fuck shit, let's just
And
spend
then
all this
and
money."
you realize, oh, what did I do?
Like, I paid off I already paid off the flight and, like, most of, like, all my things on the trip, and now I just have to wait for the hotel charge to drop, which will probably drop soon, but yeah, man, that's what I've been up to. How about you, man? What's up
That's
with
cool.
you?
Yeah, this was Valentine's Day weekend, and my wife's birthday falls on that same week weekend or that week too, because Valentine's Day is on the 14th, and then her birthday is 2 days later on the 16th. So it's like, bam, I get a double whammy. But no, we had dinner with the family. We took the kids to Red Lobster.
Oh, how's that?
Uh, it was crazy, man. I've never, like I try not to go to dinner on, like, Valentine's Day, like, because, like, if and every time that me and my wife, we go on a dinner for, like, because we celebrate kinda, like, both, right? At the same time. But, yeah, that was the first time where, like, man, Valentine's Day, like, even just, like, at Red Lobster was freaking ridiculous. There was there were 6 of us, and then before before us, there was, like, a 14-person party.
Oh my
I'm
god.
like, "Y'all shutting down Red Lobster? Like, what the hell?"
Right, renting out the restaurant.
Yeah. So, like, okay, and, like, literally, they took, like, all the back tables because
Oh my
there's
god.
14 of them, so they had to probably put, like,
Yeah.
3 tables together,
Bro,
but
that's a whole Filipino party right.
yeah. But, yeah, we did that, and then we did a little staycation on, the Las Vegas Strip for her birthday. We stayed at Nobu with, my, my Caesar rewards, you know,
Oh,
but,
got some bougie ass.
hey, man, it was, I got a good rate, man. It was
Hey, no, listen, that's super for
second
your
to
dog.
I so we did that, and then we had dinner at this art Italian place called RPM in the Forum Shop. So it was cool. And then after that, we slept in our bed in the nice hotel bed, and we
Look,
just
you
chilled.
gotta make the most out of
We
it, dog.
we won some we won some money on blackjack, and
Um,
then after that, I was just like, okay. Yeah, I was like catching up on the. I was watching a little bit of the NBA All-Star game, which was eh, we'll talk about that later, but, last week, we weren't able to hit it, but we'll hit it right now. Uh, the Super Bowl halftime show, man. What were
Mr.
your
King Kendrick,
Mr. K.
King
Dot,
Kendrick Lamar.
Mr. Morale, what were your thoughts, man?
Dude, I loved it. I loved every single part of it. And I mean, I listened to hip hop, since I was a kid. So, I was able to like relate and like I know all the songs that he performed. But overall the presentation was nice. It was a very it wasn't like too over the top. like, as far as, like, his whole presentation. I think the only thing that was, like, over the top was, like, the whole, like, PlayStation controller setup, which I thought was pretty dope, and that had, like, a whole meaning behind it. Um, but yeah, I loved it. I loved every single part of it, and the way he teased "Not Like Us," perfect.
Yeah, that was definitely my little favorite thing about it. But yeah, man, this halftime show was like an onion. It had so many layers to it.
Yeah.
Really didn't, we're not gonna try to get too much into the political stance of it, but it was there, right?
Yeah, it was there, for
It
sure.
was, anyone that didn't get it, uh, you need some you need some culture in your life.
You need some seasoning in
But
your life.
but as far as a performance-wise, I agree with you, it was, very choreographed. I mean, even K Dot was doing a little,
You
he
got a
was
little
doing a
little
little,
little two-step in there, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Little 2, 3
two-stepping,
step.
man, doing some moves. And mind you, when you're doing choreography and singing or rapping, and for that matter, it's very hard.
Dude, that
People
man
that
ran
think
out
it's
of
like,
breath at some point.
yeah, you really you need stamina for that kind of stuff, and,
And he's 37, and
yeah.
he's doing all that at 37 years old. I wanna be able to do that at 37.
No, it was I thought he did really good. Of course, the song choices is what could be, it could have gone this way, it could have gone that ways as far as meaning. Uh, yeah, the PlayStation controller, which that's what they said that it was. And when I first saw it, I thought of Squid Games,
That's what I thought.
but I mean, I've been sending you videos about this whole, like,
Yeah,
the behind the meaning and stuff like that. So
right.
if you put Squid Games into it, there was also a meaning about what that it could also mean that in the, correlation with the show. But,
I can imagine Kendrick Lamar watching Squid Game.
it was, in knowing Kendrick Lamar as an artist, he does everything where it's calculated, or maybe not the word calculated, but it's there for a reason, and it could mean this, and it can mean that. Because if you ever listen to his lyrics, he's never a artist that will mean one thing. It could mean so many other things, and this is why, I put Kendrick Lamar. Mind you, he's also a Pulitzer prize winner, so it's like, he's very intelligent, especially with his writing. He I put him and Taylor Swift in that same, category as far as an artist when it comes to writing, because I don't know if you listen to Taylor Swift, but she is a very good writer.
No, she's a very good
She
songwriter.
has, multiple meanings in songs too,
Yeah,
or sometimes no, she's deliberately writing a song about you. You know what I mean?
right.
So,
I mean,
uh,
that's the whole reason why, like, she also wanted to buy her own masters back from Scooter Braun,
yeah,
and
well,
so when she finally got her masters back, she redid all of her older
she had to
albums.
because she wouldn't make money off of the old. And I had um to research about that, because when I first saw that, um, when you look at Spotify, it says Taylor's version. I'm like, what the hell is Taylor's version? So I asked my wife because she's a Taylor Swift fan.
Yeah.
So she didn't know. And then I had to like look it up and like, oh, that's why she re-recorded all those albums.
Yeah.
And that was a whole mess too. But anyways, that's why Taylor and Kendrick have worked together because they have a found found respect for each other, as far as artistry and then just in general, right?
Yeah.
So that and that might be far fetched, but I put them
I mean,
together.
when Kendrick won, I think it was Rap Song of the Year, and he was shouting out like, "Oh, this one's for the city." And Taylor, you could see Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift put her wine glass in the air. She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, Taylor Swift, God, Taylor Swift is walking over Drake's grave like that. Just
S- So, at the end when he finally, first he teases "Not Like Us," and then teases it more again, then finally drops it. I'm like, "Wow, he's actually gonna do it." But is he going to say those parts? Oh, he actually did say those parts. And the
he
fact
didn't
that
say pedophile though,
he
so
didn't yeah, he
that's
didn't but the A minor
dude.
and then
That studio
say,
was
"Jake,
that stadium. I should say that stadium
say,
was
Jake."
so fucking loud. Oh my god, I was
Oh,
watching that
and
when I was watching that live.
did you
Oh
see
my
did you see his necklace of the
okay, so
little A?
here's the A is PG Lane. It's not A minor.
Oh,
It
see,
could no, it
it
could
could
mean
have
that.
been.
It could, but if you search up PG Lane is Kendrick's like new like record label agency. Um and that's why he's not with TD anymore. TD being Top Dog Entertainment. So the A is from PG Lane because I always see people like say like, "Oh, the A is like A minor because it's lowercase," and it's like, well, yes, but also no because that's also the PG Lane.
Is
Like
that the A?
that's how it's formatted. Yeah. So but I mean, like you said, like or like you said earlier, like there's
Oh,
so
okay,
much.
yeah, I
Yeah,
see.
you know what I'm saying. So like
I see the logo now.
yeah, so, like but, I mean, like you said earlier, like,
Yeah.
there's so much to what Kendrick does. It can mean this, but it also could mean this too. So, you know
Alright, so you just
yes.
debunked, TikTok because everyone
Yeah,
was like,
no, no, I've literally seen
"He
oh,
wore
also
A chain for A minor."
also, I wanna say this, so, in his final song, "TV Off," it's not "Turn this TV off" because 'cause I've been seeing a lot of that. It's not "Turn this TV off." It's "Turn his" HIS, turn his TV off because the song itself, when you listen to the whole CD, it's mostly directed at Drake because the song
Ah,
is about Kendrick's always in the news because he's because of the not like Gus thing and like this the whole diss and like
yeah,
people are like saying like Kendrick won the beef or whatever. So the song is like you better turn somebody better turn Drake's TV off because Kendrick is always in the news and because Drake, filed that lawsuit or whatever, it's like, hey, somebody tell Drake to turn his TV off. So it's not turn
got
this
it.
TV off.
See, and this is why Kendrick is good at what he does because this is what he wants us to do. Everyone has their own, theories
But
or
like, no, also
but you
too,
know what I mean?
no, no, but like it also pissed me off because the NFL, the official NFL account on Instagram, they made like a social media reel. They made like they made an Instagram reel. The
I
caption
think I've
said,
seen it,
"Turn."
yeah.
You saw it. It said, "Turn this TV off," and it's like, no, it is turn. Go look up the lyrics to the song. It will say, "Turn this TV off." You can
And the
even slow
actual
down.
lyrics of the song,
Yes, those actual lyrics of the song. It says, "Turn his TV off." You can even slow it down. You can go back. You can slow it down you can slow it down like
I'm
50%.
about to check it right now, buddy.
You can slow it down like 50%. You will hear the words turn his TV, you will hear the words turn his TV off. But he says it so fast that
Ah,
I can I can hear
yeah, I
I can
see it.
hear why but he says it so fast. I can hear why people think he says turn this TV off. Because when he goes from turn in his, it sounds like turn this TV off. It's
See,
just the way he
and
enunciates
and
his
this is
words.
why I love artists like this, where you need to you can you like, kinda like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has classes in universities where they study her lyrics,
Right.
right? You could do the same thing with Kendrick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Turn
Easily.
his TV off. It's almost like,
Turn.
Nelson Mandela effect,
Yeah. It's
where it's
almost like that.
where,
Yeah.
like, we think it's supposed to be this,
But it's
or we
actually
know it's but
this.
it's actually that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Turn his TV off.
Listen,
I
man.
see it.
Listen,
I'm looking at
man.
the lyrics right now.
You can look up those, like, go on genius.com, just
That's
or even
that's
just
exactly where I'm at right now.
just go on any just search up just search up TV off lyrics, Kendrick Lamar TV off lyrics, it will say turn his TV off. And it pissed me off so much, 'cause 'cause it really pissed me off, 'cause not the fact that not the fact that people got it wrong, but they use it as an excuse to say like, "Oh, I didn't like the halftime performance,
Yeah.
and Kendrick Lamar kept telling us to turn this TV off." I'm like, "No, he's telling Drake to turn his TV off."
Again, those are people. Unfortunately, there are people out there that don't use their
Yeah,
entire
and
brain,
it's like,
and
dude, like
it's genius. It really is.
yeah. Like,
Um
people don't take the time to respect
no,
the
they don't.
culture
They don't.
of hip
And
hop because they can't understand the words. I'm like, dude, like, just go back, listen to it on YouTube. It's there on YouTube. If you have to slow it down, you can slow it down on YouTube and listen to all the words. And it hurts me as a hip hop fan to just see people that mute the TV because they don't like Kendrick Lamar, they don't know who he is, or like they don't understand what he's saying. It's like, dude, you have to give us a chance.
well,
I'm like the
the biggest problem today in hip hop is that there's not a lot of artists like Kendrick Lamar. Do you know what I mean? Where where they his material is, you know,
you have
the
to think about.
lyrics, you have to think about the lyrics. It's not just about, you know, cash money hoes.
Yeah.
He can do that, but
We're
he's more
He's
in
more of a storyteller. That's
yeah,
what
he's a
he is.
storyteller, and that's exactly what his halftime performance was. It was a storytelling of how he feels, the country is at right
Yeah,
now,
right.
and throwing a little sprinkle of the whole Drake beef. So like we said, we got 2 more minutes, but like we said, this is why he is good at what he does. There was so many layers to this onion that you could have just kept peeling and peeling and peeling, and there was just so many different things behind, what he was saying and even showing. I mean, look at the bringing out, you know, Drake's ex-girlfriend,
Oh, Serena Williams.
Serena Williams, but that could have been theorized as, "Oh, that's a shot at Drake having his ex-girl crip walk him." But no, it was also a meaning behind it where look at Serena on the biggest stage on TV where she's crip walking, where when she was,
I think it was the Olympics.
wherever it was where she
Yeah,
would do the crip walk and they would blast her for it.
right.
And so
She's
that's all,
also from Compton too,
and she's
so
from Compton too. So again, layers to the onion, you know?
let me I know we have like a minute left, but
Yeah.
do we expect to see another performance like that? Because Kendrick's the only rap he's the first rap artist to solo headline a Super Bowl. Do we think we see another solo headliner in the Super Bowl after Kendrick?
I mean, as long as, you know, Jay-Z is the he's the one that's running the the Apple
The
Music
halftime show, yeah.
halftime show for since the first I think it was 2021 in LA. You know, he was the one that brought out Dr. Dre and then Rihanna and then Usher. So next year it's going to be in the Bay
Santa Clara,
Area, right?
yeah.
So honestly, like as far as that, what Kendrick did, I don't think so because he's the only one that can really do it. You know, with again a show that has so many layers to the onion. Um, but yeah, I honestly I couldn't tell you who's gonna do the next show or gonna be able to do something like Kendrick did. I mean, you can't really say there anyone can do it because Kendrick is just that type of artist that can do that. But I don't think there's anybody else. So it will be interesting to see next season, when the Chicago Bears are in the Super Bowl. Uh
Oh,
uh
Caleb Warner's gonna zoom into the promised land.
but yeah, man, so let's jump in to the NBA All-Star weekend.
I was pissed.
Wow.
Well, what a shit show.
Man,
Um,
so Andre, what did you think of NBA All-Star weekend?
I'm pissed off for 2 reasons. 1, because of the whole, like, just everything about it just pissed me off. But 2, I was in Florida when the All-Star game happened. So, it started at, like, 8 o'clock, something like that, 7 o'clock. I don't even know
Oh,
what time it started. But I missed the first game of, like, that whole, like, tournament or whatever they did.
yeah.
And then I saw everything else. When they got to the championship game, they played, like, 10 minutes, and then they had, like, this whole spiel for, like, the TNT guys. They had, like, 5 commercial breaks. The score was, like, 11-1. I'm like, "Dude, what are we doing here?" And it's, like, damn near 10 PM in Florida. And I'm sitting there, I'm drinking Modelo, and I'm eating my Chinese food, my Chinese takeout. And I'm over here like, "Dude, I can't even eat right now because there's no action." It's just, they're giving tribute to the TNT guys, which is not a bad thing. I'm just like, that kinda takes away, like, you're doing it in the middle of the game, and the players are just sitting there. They're just like, "Alright, we gonna chill," like, you know what I mean? And so like, I hate that as a basketball fan. Like, it wasn't even competitive, you know? The game before the championship game was at least somewhat competitive because it was close. And, like,
Yeah.
the rookies were really trying to, like,
It
win
was
the game.
the Rising Stars versus the
Yeah,
OGs. Yeah.
the Rising Stars
Speaking
players.
of, because there was nothing to bet, I actually bet that game. And, I got it at OGs minus 6.5. It shit, man, that almost didn't cover.
Dude,
And
I
then
would've hated myself.
at the last second, Damian Lillard shoots a 3 and gets it at 6.5. So
Oh,
it
yeah.
just hit 7.
Dude, I would have been dude, because I was about to bet that game too, and because I was about to go bet the game, and I was like, I would have spent so much money on this trip. I can't risk losing like
Yeah.
$25 on something I may not get back. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, it just pissed me off so much, man.
What do you
It,
think it is? Like, we can even say the, uh the NFL Pro Bowl or even, like, all these all-star, like, weeks or weekends, like, what's going on? Why?
dude, it's just the NBA and the NFL. They're just
Yeah.
downgrading. Because MLB, they're
Yeah,
also
I
doing
still
this
like
like
MLB. I mean, I love watching the All-Star game. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's
Like,
e
dude, you'll see home runs for
yeah.
days.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, but like, it's still kind of somewhat competitive, you know what I
And
mean?
I love the home run derby. I mean, it's always cool to see, those sluggers hit those balls out of the park. But yeah, man, like, I don't know what it is, like, the NBA and the NFL, like, I remember back in the day when, like, the Pro Bowl was, like, the thing to watch, even though it wasn't as competitive. Well, and mind you, the Pro Bowl was after the Super Bowl, I believe,
Oh, yeah. Oh my
years
god, you're
ago in
right.
Hawaii,
Right,
and then
yeah.
they decided to do it before.
Yeah.
And then you would never see, like, if there's the players on the teams that are in the Super Bowl, you'll never see them play because
Right.
they're not gonna get hurt, right? So, but yeah, I don't know what it is anymore. I saw a comment from, Draymond Green saying, you know, m people that make the all-star team, like, yeah, and granted, most of them are, the superstars of the game, and, they work hard for that, leading up to that point in the season to, make it, as an all-star, and then come to do this format where it was, like, 4 different teams, um and then one of them is, like, the rising stars, and they play the OGs, and it's just like, "Okay, I get it. They're the future, but why do I gotta work that hard to, like, play in the All-Star game?" Because that's ultimately what Draymond said, right? But I don't know. It hasn't been good, for the last few years. I did like, a few years ago where there was no time limit, 'cause there was no time limit in this game either. They played up to gets to 40, right? But I think a few years ago, I wanna say maybe it was last season, the last All-Star game where they, uh I think you get captains. So it'll be like LeBron is a captain, and then Giannis was a captain the last few years, and they picked their squad, right, of the all-star list, and then they would play for charity. And so, and then of course, the winning team also gets, incentive, forgot how
Sure.
much, but
You're right.
I mean, that did seem like it was that bad in my opinion. I think the biggest thing was just trying to get these guys to be, I guess, competitive, but not too
Yeah.
competitive where they'll get hurt, but I
'Cause
mean,
they've done it before. I
they've
mean,
done it before.
you look at the early 2000s, even when Jordan was about to retire, like, that
Yeah.
game was close. Like, Jordan's last All-Star game was very close.
Yeah.
It was very close. I forgot who won the game, but it was very close, and it was competitive. It was high scoring, but it got down to the last second. You know what I mean?
And though I wanna say those last 2 All-Star games, they were also close too. So it wasn't, I mean, they were high scoring, they were like it was like maybe like 300 points total, right? But
Yeah.
but
But
it
I
was
think the
still,
difference between that and, back then, like the early 2000s, I think it's just the level of competitiveness that they're willing to put in. Cause then you have a whole bench you can use, but if they're not going to really play hard and it's just all offense and people are just going to jog up and down the court or like
yeah,
not even like just like
chuck up
walk.
threes.
Yeah, chuck up threes and chuck up like Steph Curry chucks up like a 40-foot from like the logo or something like
Yeah,
that. So, it's just if it's just gonna be like that, then it's like it's not enjoyable to watch. But you watch Kobe in every All-Star game. He tries. He tries to make him competitive. Right. Even his last All-Star game, like he was older and like, he couldn't really do much, but like he still played, you know what I mean? Like, he actually tried to play the game, but, yeah, it's just the level of competitiveness and the fact that they're not trying as hard as they should. I think that's what went wrong, and you can even look at the 4 Nations face-off tournament that's happening in the NHL right
yeah,
now. And by the time this gets posted, the championship game would have already have happened.
yes,
So USA Canada is your finals game. It's the rematch from the round robin game, and we won't know who wins until next week because this is on a Wednesday we're recording this. So it should be a good game. Hopefully it is by the time this gets posted. I expect it to be a good game. But I mean, you see what they're doing in the Four Nations face off. That's their all-star game this year.
Yeah.
It's USA, Canada, Finland, Sweden. And there's players that are playing. Like this is a actual like it's an actual like hockey game, a regular season hockey
Weren't there
game.
fights already too?
Dude, USA Canada,
Yeah.
there were like 3 fights in like the first like minute of the game. Oh no, like the first like 9 seconds of the game. There was one off the face off, and then there was one after I think USA was offside, and uh and then there was another fight there, and then like 30 seconds later there was like another
Man,
fight.
you can't tell me that, hockey players are not the toughest athletes in the
Dude,
world,
I'm
man. Like,
telling you, man. They're so tough, but that's what I'm saying, like, it's more enjoyable to watch, like, the USA Canada game, the first matchup, it got, like, 4.4 million views in just the US, and it got, like, 5.4 million in Canada, right? And it's like, I'd rather watch that. I'd rather watch Finland versus Sweden than the All-Star game. 'Cause at least they're
NBA.
gonna try to play. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'd rather watch Finland, Sweden hockey and the Four Nations face-off than the NBA All-Star game and the entirety of it. Because at least Finland and Sweden, they're gonna play. Like, players got injured. Shea Theodore's injured for the Vegas Golden Knights. He's injured.
Yeah.
He's out week to week. Charlie McAvoy for the Boston Bruins. He's out for the rest of the tournament. Both Kachuk players didn't play in the last game against Sweden, right?
Oh,
Austin
they
Matthews
didn't
didn't
play?
play. No, because there is like a precautionary injury
Are
before
they
the
gonna play in
the
the
so,
final?
as of Wednesday, they're slated to play. As of Wednesday, they're slated to play. Austin Matthews is slated to play, you know, uh, and as of today, Quinn Hughes from the Vancouver Canucks got called up to be like an emergency defenseman for Team USA. Tage Thompson from the Buffalo Sabres got called up to be like an emergency player for Team USA. So, like, the NBA could benefit from that. Maybe not so much for the NFL because there's no like
Do like a
international.
like a world versus I mean,
Yeah, they're can
you
USA
could
versus.
kinda do like USA, Canada, maybe France. I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah,
players.
dude, there's so much
Yeah,
nationalities in the NBA. You could format it that way. You know what I
with
mean?
what happened this year, I'm pretty sure Adam Silver is probably gonna go back to the drawing board to
Dude,
try to
Adam
figure
Silver
something
isn't
out.
gonna do
And you're
shit.
right. You could do like what the NHL is doing because all you need is 4 countries, right? Well, you can do USA, you can do, like, f
Canada.
Canada, you have SGA on there, and then there's a lot of French players. Yeah, of course, you have Wemby, and then the rest you can do, like, Europe, with Luka, with, uh,
Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic, like, there's your new format right there. You can make that happen.
I wonder because now ESPN is kind of taking over, right, from like TNT because TNT like has been hosting all the NBA events,
Well,
right?
their
Like all like
contract is
those.
up.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like I wonder what ESPN is gonna do. I wonder if they're gonna adopt that Four Nations face off to the NBA
Probably,
All-Star game. Because
probably.
that'd be nice to see. Like if you're gonna do a tournament style, do it by country. At least you do it by country and they're still not competitive, then that's on the players. Because
Yeah.
hockey players are willing to play and they're injured.
Listen, hockey players are, like I said, they're the toughest sons of bitches out there. I mean, I heard that one story where a player, like, had, like, a hockey player, and correct me if I'm wrong if this is right, a hockey player, like, his heart, like, stopped, and they had to, like, revive
Yeah,
him, and then he came back and played in the game.
Jay Bouwmeester, I think this is a story. So, but Jay Bouwmeester in 2019 had like a heart attack and he played for the St. Louis Blues. Got a heart attack, he was taken back to the locker room, and he came back to
That
the
that's what
game!
I'm saying, and then I've heard so many times where, hockey players, get fucked up by the hockey puck, and they need, like, 20
Yeah, they
stitches,
need, like,
and then they
stitches,
go back out there and
and then
fucking play.
and
Like,
they
you
come
can't
back and
tell me. You can't
they
tell me
come
hockey
back.
players are not fucking crazy and, like, the toughest athletes in the world, man. It's
They
crazy.
blocked so many, like, oh, I forgot who it was, but there was I seen a clip from, a few years ago. There's, like, a player in the playoffs, and, like, he blocked, like, 5 shots before getting back to the bench, and he could barely stand up, and he still comes back in the game. Yeah. No, but, I mean, it just pisses me off, man, that the NBA All-Star Game, it was so fun to watch growing up, and then it just they changed every because they thought it'd be better. But I think, it's better like, it's more like, if you're not a hockey fan, if you're just like a hockey casual, you wouldn't know like half the players that are playing. That's why
Yeah,
people don't watch.
yeah,
People only know like Sidney Crosby or like Connor McDavid or
yeah.
like, maybe some may know like an Austin Matthews, you know what I mean? So like it's hard to watch that because you don't know who's actually playing. But I'd rather watch like if I didn't watch hockey and I heard about the Four Nations face off, if I'm tired of watching the NBA All-Star game, I go tune into that. And then once you see that, it's like, oh wow, these guys are actually playing. And like those games are like really close. Well, the first USA Finland wasn't close. That was like 6-1. And then Canada, Sweden, they just played. And Canada was up like 4-0. Oh no, sorry, Canada, Finland was up. Canada, Sweden, that was a blowout too. But Canada, Finland, it was a good game, leading towards the end of the game because Canada at one point was up like 4-0, and then Finland scored like with 6 minutes left. It was 4-1. And then the last like 2-ish minutes of the game, Finland scored again when they pulled out their goaltender. And I was like, "Okay, 4-2 is interesting." 20 seconds later, Finland scores again, 4-3. I was like, "What the fuck?"
So needless to say that Canada and USA are still on top
Yeah, they're still
hockey.
the
Got it.
top 3 countries, yeah, for sure. They have the talent, and they have the superstars and all that, so this USA Canada team, like I said, we're posting this on we're probably gonna post this on a Friday, so and the game would have already happened, but I expect it to be a close game. I hope it is, because if it's not, I'd regret saying we're
What I wanna put money on this game, damn it. Tell me,
okay.
Andre, who do
So
I bet?
wait, okay, so they played already, and USA won 3-1. I still think USA wins, but it will be very close, like the first game.
So
I think it'd
USA money
be
line. USA,
it.
USA.
The last time I checked, it was a pick 'em. And the total, I think, was like 5.5. So it's gonna be a close game. I hope it is. I hope I don't regret saying that.
Well, because I'm a proud American,
Bet USA.
I will
Listen,
bet USA, baby.
it's a fun tournament, man. This tournament has been so fun. It's been so fun to watch. Even if the first 2 games have been blowouts, like the second set of like the round robin games has been so fun to watch. Even the USA Sweden game, that was fun to watch. Even though USA lost that, but it was still a close game. It was 2-1. USA had chances to win or at least tie the game. The Like I said, the Canada Finland game was fun to watch. Like leading towards the end of the game, got really close.
Yeah.
So it was it was such a fun. It's been such a fun tournament to watch, man. And next year they're bringing back the World Cup, which is kind of similar to what we're watching now in the Four Nations, but it's supposed to I think it's supposed to be like more I think it's kind of the same format if I remember,
Yeah.
but the World Cup was like a big thing in like the NHL because like it was like all it's kind of like what you're seeing now. So they're
Uh,
doing that, and then 2027 the NHL players are going back to compete in the Olympics for the Winter Games. So Team USA will have a team, Team Canada will have their team, and then they'll ship some of their players out for like Sweden and Finland and all that. So it's an exciting time to watch hockey, man.
Yeah.
These next 2 years is going to be very very fun to watch. So right now is a very good time to watch hockey for
All right.
sure.
Well, NBA, you better get your shit together and take some notes on the how NHL is doing the All-Star week. So we'll see what happens with the in that final matchup, USA and Canada, and we'll talk about that next week. All right, Andre, we have 59 more days till WrestleMania, and
It's
luckily,
coming up really soon.
yeah, luckily, we are locals here in the Las Vegas area, so we don't have to travel. And I'm on these Facebook groups of like that are WrestleMania groups, and a lot of these people in the group that are coming here are from out of town, from different countries. And man, like w- WWE definitely, they attract, the world, right? And I believe everything that they say about when they hit that Netflix, Raw on Netflix, and how it's, streaming all over the not just the country, but the entire world. So it's definitely hitting a lot more people in one streaming service, right? And a lot of these people on there are just asking about hotels and where to stay and how to get around, and you know everything's just kind of like, first of all, they, because it's in Vegas, and not just WrestleMania, but like just shows, restaurants, sports, Vegas can up the price or up the ante, right? And man, it was an arm and a leg to get these tickets, right? For the combo ticket. And we paid face value, lucky enough to, get the pre-sale, um, before the pre-sale, right? So, and then just looking back and trying to get tickets for Raw, SmackDown, that when
The week of
the week
WrestleMania.
of WrestleMania, and man, it's just like,
That's expensive.
wow, like,
I know we went to a SmackDown one time, and it was not that
it was no.
expensive at all.
Then again, they're kind of upgrading where it's at, because usually they're at the MGM Grand Garden, which is a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
And yeah, we went there. Do you remember we paid like $50, and then we didn't
Um,
really like our seats, so we went a little bit closer and got like $20 seats. So, but as far as SmackDown before WrestleMania and Raw after WrestleMania, which is going to be held at
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile Arena, which is, slightly I shouldn't even say slightly. It is a nicer arena over MGM Grand Garden, and it's bigger too. So of course they're gonna try to up the price, and looking at 200 section 200, and it's like 100 and something dollars,
Yeah.
and you get closer to the floor, it's about 300-400. So I'm like, man, do I really want to? I'm already going to. We're already going to WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday, so I'm set. Do I really want to go to SmackDown and Raw? Like, eh. So I think I'm
I might
just,
try to go to Stand and Deliver. If the card is if the card
yeah,
is
that too.
if the card is, worth it, I might try to go to NXT Stand and because there's a lot more that's happening in NXT than there is in Raw and SmackDown, unfortunately. And I think that but I mean, that says a lot about the brand. I mean, they're improving, and the whole WWE TNA relationship is being, is paying off than what they did with TNA and AEW.
Maybe
At
that's a
least
thought. Maybe that's a thought. Maybe we should go to, NXT. Only thing is it's on a
Burger.
Saturday, it's in the morning, and then it's gonna be a long ass day, I'll tell you that much.
It's very
Definitely gonna probably need a hotel room for that day.
yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, if the card is worth it, I mean, it's worth looking at. I mean, I just saw clips from last night's, uh, not TNA, NXT. They brought in TNA's Moose, who's their X Division champion, and they had him do a promo with Oba Femi, who's the current NXT champion. And if you go back and look at those clips, those are two big men, two those are two big men and their respective, companies. And I think they're slated for a match, whether that's at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that match live. Think that's a I think that's a match, worth paying for. But, you know, the rest of the card, if it's worth going to see all the matches, I pay that. You know what I mean?
Trying
But
to see
I
the,
don't they haven't put out the stand and deliver card yet. I think they're just kind of teasing out what, they're kind of playing around what they want to do. They're just bringing Jordan Grace to the mix too. So, you know, NXT is having a time of their life right now. They are experimenting with stuff. I seen the LFG show that they just put out,
yeah, yeah.
the Legend from Future Grace. So I saw the first episode when I was in Florida, and it looks to be an interesting show. I like the direction. So
It's like Tough
it's
Enough,
kind of like
basically.
it,
Like,
it's like Tough Enough, but it's kind of like Dana White's Contender Series.
okay, okay.
It's kind of a mix of both, because like you have coach. I mean, it is like Tough Enough too, right? It's kind
Yeah,
of like
it's
that,
it's
but
that kind of show, basically,
yeah,
where
yeah,
they
it's basically what that is, but I think it's more geared towards what, like, Dana White does for Contender Series. I think it kind of follows that format from what I got from it from watching the first episode, but, you know whoever wins that, also gets an NXT contract, so and I know for Tough Enough, they did something like that too, but, like, was a WWE contract, but I think this format is more suited towards, like, uh NXT. But yeah,
speaking of
I've
a
seen
WWE contract, they just released that, you know, a contract can go from, you can make, like, 200
oh, I
to
did see that.
300,000
Yeah.
a year, and that's, like, minimum,
You're
right?
just on the
That's
main
you're on
roster.
the main roster, which it's not bad, I mean, but if you
No.
think about it, that's a lot of traveling, and a lot of that is, that's why you're getting paid that so
Right.
you know,
You can afford all
you can
that.
afford all that, but, there's also, the tax write-offs and stuff like that, but,
Right.
man, um, I asked my son, Addy, like, "You wanna be a wrestler?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Hey, man, maybe you could." But anyway, yeah, so we're so far not looking to go to SmackDown or Raw, but
No.
maybe NXT Stand and Deliver, but definitely going to hit up, WWE World,
Yeah. No,
um,
definitely check that
and
out for
check out,
sure.
this is their first year where they're doing it in a huge convention space, and maybe it's just going to be it's gonna
The
be
Las
big.
Vegas Convention Center is big. That's
Yeah,
a big space.
yeah, so we'll see how that goes, and we'll actually, we'll take the cameras on the road that day, and we'll
Yeah.
film some stuff and cut up
We
a,
we're gonna upgrade.
episode.
We're gonna upgrade our
We're gonna, post our adventures, on that day, and then, of course, also WrestleMania.
What an episode, man. This was fun. This is a little catch up episode, post NFL everything. This is really our post NFL show.
We'll start getting back into, talking to, some, MLB, because MLB is,
MLB's coming
coming
up.
soon, and So
This episode was just to shit on the NBA All-Star game.
yes,
That's what this episode was.
because man, they aren't doing it right now. So we'll see what happens.
The
But
NHL right
anyways,
now. The NHL right now is saying they not like us.
yeah,
They not like
yeah,
us.
exactly. All right, man. Andre, always good cutting it up with you. Talk to you next week. I'm Ryan. That's Andre. We are across all arenas. We are out. See you next week.
Follow our social media pages, y'all. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
On the
I finally
bottom,
got
right
TikTok.
there. On the
I
bottom.
finally got TikTok. It's finally on the App Store. Yes,
Oh,
sorry.
you
Holly
got the
Credit back.
TikTok?